And we're live. Welcome to Roleplay Cafe. We're going to do a one-shot wonder here entitled A Diamond in the Rough. One player, one DM, both new to E5. So, it's a learning experience for both of us. we're going to stumble through it and make it up as we go along. So, it should be entertaining at least on that level.
That's right.
Okay. Okay, O'Neill. You are... a stone hits your head. Another one pelts your body. You're being shoved around in a circle. You look up and glance at Ridley, the innkeeper from your town. You've known him since you were a little boy. You laugh maniacally as you spin around. And they're screaming, "Get him out! Banish him! He's got the shrieks!" You don't know why, but you can't stop laughing. You had returned to your village happy. You had stumbled upon something that was going to be very good for the village and yourself. You had found a body on the side of the road, a traveler that had been passed away, and beside him, in his hand, he had let go and rolled out. It was a diamond, and you had taken it up and made your way as fast as you could back to your village. And when you entered the village, you thought it was a little bit of a excitement in you when you started laughing, and you couldn't stop laughing, and you were trying to show everybody in the village what you had, but you kept bending over and laughing, and people started gathering around you. You notice that there's drool coming out of the side of your mouth. You feel it coming down. And there's a woman that shrieks that he's got the cackle fever. He's mad. And they start backing up from you. Get him out of here. And then the stones start coming at you. And they start shoving you away. And it's a very small village, a little hamlet. And they're pushing you out onto the road, and you have no other recourse than to there's the throng of everybody's come out of their houses. Everybody's pushing you away, and you're wanting to show that you don't understand what's going on right now. You feel a little bit discombobulated. You're starting to get nauseous, and they chase you out of town, and rocks are being, you can hear rocks falling behind you and tumbling along the dirt road that leads into the town and out. You are in a state of mind. When you get out of the town, as far as you're running, you get to a certain point where you can stop and catch your breath, and the laughter subsides a little bit, but it's still underneath your breath. You're still laughing a little bit, and you're sweating somewhat, and something tells you in your mind that you need to go north. You hear almost this echo in your mind, and this knowledge. It's just apparent that you need to go north to to get rid of this madness, to find a cure. A cure is north. You don't feel in your right frame of mind. It's like almost you've been you're pulled by something else. And it's you feel an urge to head that way. A strange urge. You're like I said, your laughter subsided. You're a little bit retained. It'll break out every once in a while when you're walking along, and your gut hurts from laughing so much and whatever. You're still a little bit sweaty and a little bit fevered as you walk along. You were out and about as you were, so you'll have the gear on you that you had, in your character sheet. All right.
Yeah.
More and more comes into your head that you can see almost as a vacant memory a lie of small hills, and you hear resounding laughter in your memory drifting across the hilltops.
Mm-hmm.
You can almost see in the distance little figures moving around and dancing gaily on the hills. But you know internally that there's relief there, that you have to get there to get rid of this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nothing's fully formed exactly, but that's all you know right now. It's a strong compulsion.
All right. So.
Okay. You're in a the road that runs north, which is incidentally the way that you happen to be pushed out of the village as they were trying to stone you and get rid of you, which is very odd for the situation. But you know yourself that if you contracted this disease that they say you have, it's very deadly. You had heard of it before, and now they're branding you with that disease. You've heard this. The shrieks is what they call it offhand.
Shrieks. All right. So
It's almost like a sort of madness that is contagious and spreads.
It's a lot of talking to yourself and reassuring yourself.
Yeah, which is perfect for a one-on-one. yeah, you're an automatic automatic partner there.
Yeah.
So you kind of like the Joker.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
You like the Joker now, bud.
Hey. Maybe it's more like the Batman who laughs. No.
Yeah, you know that and you've heard, that there are north of you some ways that there are more and you've never been that far yourself, but from people that came through the town, they say there's lowlands and hills and whatnot, pastoral land up north, a couple of days. You've never been outside of a day's, travel. So it's got to be probably, you reckon, 10 miles away or so.
All right. Is it
You'd probably do what now?
Is it busy road or?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a busy road, and it heads right through up into a forest, which there's been not a lot of travel uh, recently through that village. It's more isolated. There has been a previous war um, some 30 years ago that divided um, the kingdom up along this rift of this area where they meet, and it's more like
More like
a
a border.
real a borderlands area
Yeah.
between another one.
Mm. Okay.
So there's some fringe activity between there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um. Yeah. 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 So we head. Keep heading north. Keep heading north. Go
Okay,
north. 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 North.
north, north, north. All
North we
right.
go.
Okay. I want you to roll a d6 and just don't roll a 5 or 6.
Okay.
What'd you roll?
2.
2. All right, good to go. So far, so good. You've been trying to hold down. Your panic is almost softened some of the hysteria. But it's made you burst out. But your mind, you're wondering. But it's like you've got a dual mind, and you keep clutching this diamond in your hand, and you'll slip it out of your pocket, but you're constantly rechecking to make sure it's there. Um, in essence, almost like you're precious, you
It's
know.
my process.
So that's how you're reacting to the thing, and you're um,
So shiny.
heading north. Yeah, um, but yeah, you got a very innate covetous feeling about this diamond. You'll take it out and look at it every once in a while and slip it back in your pocket whenever you hear any kind of noise on the road. Which when you're going a little forward north, you've been traveling. That was the morning you had got out early to go on a hunt whenever you came across the body, and did a little pilfering and came up with what you did come up with. Now you're heading north, and you've gotten fairly deep into the woods, and there is a little clearing. Doesn't look man-made. It's just kind of opened up with the canopies opened up a little bit, and then the sunlight's filtering through the bottom, where it's very dark and shady. And it looks like a tree that has fallen over on its side, and it's been laying there for a while. You know, so it's not obscuring the path or whatever, but it's more sitting more laying to the side. Um, you you do have whenever you took roll a d4 for your injuries you sustained in the village. Okay, take 2 points.
All right.
So according to this opportunity is if you need a short rest or if you want, you know, a long rest.
Let's take a short rest.
Okay. Now it's relatively quiet. You can hear some small scurrying that you recognize readily from camping from going through the woods is small animals, rabbits and whatnot. Um, okay. Are you going to? Uh, are you going to? As far as your rest, are you explain what you're doing to me. I mean, are you going to?
Uh, Basically, just huddling and just still clutching the diamond,
Okay.
holding it close, and just maintaining try to maintain a vigilant look, just in case if
Okay.
anyone comes.
All right. Roll. What would perception be?
Uh,
That is. Let me find that again.
uh, uh,
Perception should be easy to.
Perception is a wisdom.
Yes. All right. Roll for your perception, for your wisdom.
I have a 13 wisdom plus one bonus, so
14.
yeah. Ooh, a 2.
2.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, well, you made that. When you're
Is it wrong now?
huddled.
Oh yeah, sorry. I guess
Yeah.
my perception is a is a plus 3 on my.
Yeah. Well, you got to roll against the difficulty, I guess. Then.
Yeah. That's what.
Um,
So I would think that was a roll under, wouldn't it? Or I mean, it's a roll
well,
over. It's roll over. So
oh yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. Sorry,
yeah,
my bad.
yeah.
I'm
That
still
would.
playing vigilante hack.
Yeah, this is definitely a roll over
Okay.
to succeed. So that definitely was not a success.
Okay. Well, when you're there, hunched over, and you've laid your gear down by your side, um, you hear something right before it strikes, and it sounds very familiar to the sound you're making with the pen. Uh, there is a roll. Okay, we're gonna roll for surprise, which would be your that'd be well agility. Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I mean, we'll roll for initiative is what I'm.
Roll for. Oh, you want
Yeah,
to roll for?
yeah, you are surprised. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, good lord. And the worst part of it is I got a -1 on my initiative.
Oh man.
Yeah. 10 minus 1. I got a 9.
9. Okay. All right, let me pull this out.
Oh, my precious. My precious.
Yeah, I still got a clutch onto that. Oh
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Let me find this sucker.
If it wasn't so well rested, I would probably say I could probably sound a lot more maddening if I wanted to get really into character.
Oh, I'm not believing this.
uh,
Okay.
Man.
All right. Let's see. Good grief, man. Okay, you'll see. I'm not going to hold this off too much. I just can't find it in here. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I think I just did.
Oh no.
Okay. Um,
Excuse me.
Okay. You'll see as you're there, you catch uh, something that's almost right on you. And second. Okay. He does get the go first. At the corner of your eye, while you're sitting there, kind of rocking back and forth and try to cool yourself off from the sweats, you hear that little clicking sound, and then right when you turn around, you'll see a centipede this half out of that log, three quarters out of it, and coming fast
Oh, jeez.
right at you, and you're huddled down like this. Um, what do you have weapon wise on you?
I have a great axe and a javelin.
Okay, but in your hand at the time, you have a great axe.
Uh, sure. Yeah.
Yes, I mean it's up to you.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll do that.
Okay, well you got this, but this thing's coming out so fast, um, and it is going to launch at you. It is not that far away from you. All right. And it is launching out to bite. All right.
All right.
Roll. Oh, you would not believe that, dude. You got a 20.
Are you?
No, I'm not kidding. Um,
My AC's a 17.
yeah, you got a 20, and it has +4 to hit. It's 24. Uh, it latches into you, and it's 4 + 2 damage wise.
Ooh.
All right, so that is 5 total damage.
Ooh.
All right, and you must succeed on a DC of 10 Constitution saving throw or take 3d6 poison damage.
Lovely.
So if you got a Constitution, if you got any bonuses to add to that, I know there's no proficiencies.
I got a +2 bonus on my for my Constitution. So.
Okay, so you got to roll.
Sorry. Oh, my Constitution actually is a +4. Sorry, I was looking on spot for my saving throw. Okay. So.
Okay, so +4 on whatever you roll, just beat 11 or better.
Oh, good lord. No, that's a
Oh, you're
5.
kidding me!
It's a
5.
5. Yeah.
Well,
Bad
you got a
dice.
9. Gee whiz, bro.
5 total.
Okay, now roll. That sucks, dude. That is if you hadn't already had enough problems.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I dropped my dice. Hold on. All right, I'm back now.
okay.
Oh, shit.
Okay, 3d6. I'm rolling, sucker.
Hopefully I don't die.
That's 11 points, man.
Oh, well, that puts me in
Gotcha.
the -6 range, man.
-6. Okay.
Yeah. Unless you're going to pull a Hail Mary. I don't think I got anything.
Now, if it says you're reduced to 0 hit points, you're stable but poisoned for 1 hour. So as far as you're dropping down below that,
Yeah, because just the initial attack put me at 5.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you're gonna feel it when he latches into you and let loose the poison into you. You start to you feel your body kind of seize up, your muscles seize up, and you can't move all that much, and you still clutching that in your hand, and while you're still down, and he's latched to you, and you fall over, clutched, and just lay there. And it's hard to shiver, and you're still sweating, but your body's seizing up on you. And this centipede is going to work, not on your flesh, but you can't feel a thing. Now, at this point, um, now you can make another character and keep that same sheet and just rename him as another character. But I mean, if you're below 6 and he's
Yeah. I have another character. I do. I have another fighter here. I did have a cleric somewhere.
it probably wasn't deadly.
Huh?
Who said 5 he wasn't deadly?
Who said he wasn't deadly? I don't know who said that. It's only deadly when your dice
Sounds
ain't
like an
rolling right.
OSR, baby.
Yeah, no.
You're dead. Sorry.
Sorry. Hey, next time.
No, don't worry. It's like this. You can hear as you're laying there before you're going out. You can hear some maddening screams, and then they stop, and then you have a peaceful mind. You're not. It don't feel like you're maddened at all or anything. And you start to drift off. Now your next character. All right. Your next character is coming north along the road. You just left a little village, a little hamlet, and resupplied yourself. And, gotten a coat for the winter chill. And the snow is on the ground. And you're crunching through it. It's a little bit hardened. It's iced over at the top. And you made your way a little bit north into the forest. And you come upon, in the center of this clearing, this half decomposed skeletal remains, with some of the flesh on it still, in a fetal position, laying down in the center of the clearing. And it's clutching something. And when you get near, it and you walk near it, you feel an undeniable compulsion, and giggles start manifesting in you and start coming out of your lips, and you don't know what you're laughing for. This is a horrible sight, but in a dark way. It's humorous, it's funny maybe, and you immediately feel the need to reach down. You hear something echo in your mind, say, grab it, and you're reaching down and you're kind of tearing through the remains. I mean, it doesn't matter that it's remains. You're just like tearing it apart, and you pull that diamond and you look at it, and you get happy for a minute, and you hear, yes. Roll when you're staring at it in this light with all the ambient lighting from the snow and everything, and then the light coming into it. It's like almost a master sword. But roll me a perception, okay?
Plus 3. 18.
Okay, all right. You see a faint what looks like a faint crack in it. Might be. You don't really know. You wipe it off. You're looking at it in the light right there. and you feel very much like it's your, you know, it's your precious, and you start looking around like, it doesn't do that initially, but you start getting a little bit more paranoid. You slip it in your pocket, and you need to head north. And it's almost like if you're of a dual mind that you have to go up there, and then you start laughing again, and you don't know whether from glee or from whatever, but and you'll wipe your mouth because there's drool coming down, and you feel like you're starting to sweat and break out in cold sweats. It's wintertime, and you feel it. You feel fevered, but then you set out north again. You know that it's not that much further you need to get to. Um, and you're traveling forward with the same mindset. Um, Let me roll something here. Okay. After an hour or so, uh, you hear a little bit of a wolf's howl. It's beginning to get dusk this time of day, and it's
Mm-hmm.
off in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that you got to go through more of a crag to where the forest kind of meets up with a little hill like area. It's like
Mm-hmm.
almost a cliff facing. It'll be to your right,
Mm-hmm.
but you hear that echo above the cliff and kind of out over. Um, you travel on north, compelled by this desire. You you're sweating in your garb and in that coat, but provides protection, and you're feeling sick, but if you can make it to where you're going, that you'll be better. The closer you get, you'll be better, and you'll have what you need. Um, you travel on. Okay, and you see around the corner, you see what appears to be a hunter. He hasn't noticed you yet, and he's got a knife, and he's got a boar, or what looks like a boar, over the side of the road, and he's already killed it, and he's doing a little carving work on it right now. Which is weird. It's just laid up against the side of the road. So and that cliff facing is gone down somewhat to where it's receded into it. Okay. Are you still traveling forward, or you?
Yes, I'm gonna keep traveling, but I'm gonna just kind of reach into my pocket and just kind of clutch on the diamond a little bit as I go,
Okay.
just reassuring myself that it's still there.
Okay. He You get closer to him, and he does take note of you. He can hear you come up, and it seems like he well met, traveler. And then you get a little closer, and he kind of backs up a little bit, and as giggles escape your lips at the response, and he notices your eyes are kind of glazed over and beads of sweat. So something doesn't seem right to him. I'm gonna see how he responds exactly. I know he can see that much, but okay. He starts backing up and backing away from you and going up the side of the cliff, but he's drawn his bow and an arrow, and he's notched it, and he's backing away from you. And you can see, what it's doing, and you hear the voice going, "Just go past him. Just go." let's go. But you're of a mind to do what you want to do.
I'll pretty much with a giggle, and I'll try to reassure him I have no troubles with him. I just need to keep going
Okay.
where I need to go.
Well, when you're trying to talk to him, um, roll me a wisdom check, and let's see if you can retain a little bit of your laughter and the hilarity of the situation.
16.
Okay, so you did make it, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You do speak up to him. He kind of dips his arrow down a little bit and cautiously spies you as you leave, and he's eyeing the boar that you're walking past, and you just keep walking past it, and he's looking, and he'll say, as you get further past it, you hear him curse you as he's going down and back into the street, and he says, "You laughing fool! You've contaminated my kill!" And you keep going, and you'll just kind of hear him echo that down the road as you round the bend and leave him. Um, Further on, it's pretty much nighttime right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's setting in, and you see the where you're at. Um, when you look up this, let me see. You're more or less coming out of a section of the forest, and it's kind of clear, and you can see uh, down into a valley that dips down more, but it's from a very good vantage point. When you look out over, you can see further out um, along the horizon. It's like the horizon curves upward,
Mm.
and you've never really seen this before from where you live. Um, just from the angle that you're in a valley itself, and you hadn't gone up the edge, so you can see more out into the outer world right now. So the horizon keeps going and going upwards. Um, there are it's dark, but there's really no stars out
Mm-hmm.
above you. Um, in fact, you really don't know what it's. You've never. I should say you've never. I'm using the word wrong. Stars. You never even really notice what stars are. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like a distant blanket. So to make a difference between where you're at and where what we would recognize as night, it's just more like a blackness and a distant blackness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but there is light that comes in during the day. Now, if you look off to the right and the left, it's almost like a tunnel. You can see to the right or the extreme right and the extreme left from this vantage point. It's almost like a cone of little dots of light out that we would recognize here as stars for you to visualize this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But other than that, like above you and the way the world goes up and out on either side, you can see that. But forward and up is totally different. But everything's dark right now. Um, you look down into the to this valley that spreads out and goes. On the other side, you can see it doesn't peak out in hills. I mean, in more of a mountainous area like you are, valley, but it's more like a hilly plains. And when that strikes you, you know that that's your destination. And it's almost like a flood of relief gets into, and you hear an echo in your mind say, yes, yes. And it still urges you forward. Uh, you stumble forward and keep on the track. The the road still, you can see it winding down into the paths and prairie life. So push ever onward. All right. Um, this right here.
Oh, good lord.
All right, here we
He's
go.
flipping through the books, folks. Good lord,
Yes, that I am. Got to look.
what's he
Got to
gonna
look at
come
the
up?
random chart, baby.
What can I pull out of my chart?
All right, here we go.
I was just about to ask that. I was like, man, I'm gonna get that urge that it's like, oh, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely feel
It's like my precious,
that's your promised land.
my precious, my diamond.
Your diamond in the rough.
Stupid hobbits.
All right. Okay. All right. Um, all right. You you see what appears to be some circling vultures in the air.
Mm-hmm.
It's about three of them, and it's a little bit down into the valley uh, further, but it's right off of the road that you were at. That's what you see for right now. So you still feel urged on. Whether or not you want to go off the road or stay on the road is up to you. So
It's the urge to go north. It's even stronger now. It's know that we're almost there. It's the
yeah,
push. It's the push.
it's pulling you. You can see the snow. The snow lessens down in the valley, and you see more of the brown of the grasslands going across it. But it seems like the snow is stopping at this point. You do feel a gust of wind uplift and cross your face, blow back your hair a little bit, and make a image of a figure standing on that that mountain. So you go
Right.
down and
Hey, now.
here we go. All right. Um, there is right now. Okay, right now you hear some kind of heavy breathing and a little bit of clumping um, as you start to enter the plains area, and uh, birds almost quail-like come out of the grasslands that's surrounding you, flitter up and past you or whatever. And if you're staying on the road, of course, but this huge dog breaks out, this mastiff hound, and he skids to a stop where his eyes are focused on the targets that are going.
Mm-hmm.
And he's scared out. He stops and his body tenses up and he starts growling. He sniffs and turns around and looks at you and goes down on his haunches. He's frozen right now. What are you doing? He's still got a deep-throated growl.
Uh, I all right. I reach for my great sword.
Okay.
Just
Okay. As far as your surprise, I guess just how do we do surprise again in this game?
uh,
Let's see if it catches you off. All right. Too many books. Three books
yeah.
instead of one. I'm used to one.
Well, it's
All
D and
right.
D. You know, you got to at least have the three basics.
Yeah. I know. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. All mine are in PDFs, but I don't have my Kindle on me.
Yeah, let me look it up. Here we go.
I don't say it's much different than in any other OSR game.
Yeah, I know. It's just ain't going to hold us up too much on that. But um, listen, just roll a d6, and if it's a 1 or 2, you're surprised, all right?
All right. 2.
There you go. This has taken you a little bit by surprise, the sweat and then the quail-like birds flying up, and you look at that, and then you kind of glance down, and you notice he's already skidded to a stop, and he's already focused you in on his haunches, and roll for initiative. Yeah, but because I'm magnanimous, as Ivan likes to say,
All right.
we'll do the surprise with a -4 on initiative. All right.
Uh,
Or heck,
-4.
this is D&D, so that's just roll 2d20
All right.
for disadvantage.
All right. We'll just do that. Maybe not. All right.
All right.
Uh, well, with disadvantage, I have 7.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can add any
Oh
of your
well, I
like agility.
+3. I have a +3 to initiative, so it'd be a 10.
10. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I got a 13, so he jumps before you. Gotta break out the other book. Okay. All right, Master Pam.
Yeah. Starting to think my rune dice are cursed. Put them in.
Yeah, I know, but mine's killer on me.
I was like, my rune dice are cursed. I'm gonna put them in dice jail here pretty soon.
All right.
And go back to my old D20.
All right, I'm gonna look this sucker up. Hounds. What's it? $332. All right. All right. Good. Okay. Yeah, it had +3 on perception anyway, so it'd been hard to get him. Keen hearing and smell. Okay, he has a bite. He's a bit away from you because he has a 5-foot reach on his bite, and he's about 15 foot whenever he saw you. So, if this for his movement, he's bringing it in to engage with you. All right.
All right.
So, um, and let's roll another just straight up D20.
All right. Ew.
What'd you get?
I got a 4.
4. Yeah, he got a 17. So he's
It's,
still
yeah, it's just horrible.
he's still yeah. They tell me to burn my dice on the barbecue grill. So
Yeah, I'm gonna melt mine.
I know we need to have a bonfire, but I'll just throw out.
Chuck it. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
roll for lottery numbers with these dice.
yeah. Please don't. All right. This thing is up on you right now, and he's going at you. All right. So he is launching at you with a. Okay. He rolled a. He rolled a 10. What's your AC on that?
14.
Okay. Well, you buffer him off with the axe when you're trying to raise it up. He launches into you, but it's too many obstacles, and he would have had you deep, but it buffers him off, and he slides to the side and almost knocks him over, but he regains his footing. He's a heavy dog. And it punches you back a little bit where it almost knocks the wind out. You laugh uncontrollably. This is not something you would do role play lives, but you laugh. And I need you to, before I forget, and I did the last time, roll. Hold on. Roll a. Constitution. Roll and try to beat and add your Constitution bonus or whatever, but try to beat a target number of DC 10.
All right. 17.
Okay, that's good. Now, just well, I ain't gonna tell you. That's good. You passed it. So you managed to where you bust out laughing and knock him away. And you don't know in your mind is this like, adrenaline rush or whatever. And now is your turn while he's kind of buffeted off you and he falls to the left of you and almost goes back into the grass.
I'm gonna I'm gonna take a swing with my great sword and go for him.
All right.
Come in at him. So, all right, I get attack bonus +4. Say 11.
Okay, 11.
Yeah.
Now you will notice. In fact, you will notice this hound has. I'm going to show you a picture.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
He got appears to be a saddle on. You rolled an 11. His AC is a 12. Ain't that something? Did you have any proficiency bonus?
Well, yes, I do.
Or strength bonus you need to add?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, then that would be a 13.
Okay. All right. Well, you do bite into him, and no pun intended. Roll your damage on that.
All right. 2d6 plus 2 slashing. So 9, 11.
Okay, 11.
11 slashing.
Good grief, Bo. All right. Okay, when you hit this hound, it digs into half right here. Because when he launched at you and he was trying to draw your axe out, and the side of the axe buffeted him off to the side, and you had it to where you just in one swoop came around laughing maniacally. And anyway, you bit into his side haunch where his shoulder is, and
Mhm.
then a spray of fine mist blood sprays across your face, and it just makes you smile and laugh. All right. Now, at this time, the dog yelps like crazy, and it falls down almost like collapses to the side and pushes half the grass. Falls half into it, and roll roll your perception. Well, roll for surprise on this. Just don't roll a one or two.
Okay, so is that's basing off of
Oh,
the perception, or
yeah, I know it's not D&D, but yeah, I guess just do. Well,
yeah,
I guess I have to make a decision here. Do
yeah.
a yeah. I want you to roll for a surprise. So whatever that
Uh,
is, crazy. I don't even know.
okay, I rolled an 18, so I'm
Okay.
just
Well, you're not surprised in either case.
yeah.
20. All right. Even though I'm not making you roll severe uh, disadvantage on this because for some reason, even though you're sickish, it's almost like you're possessed by this will. So it's offsetting any kind of uh, your condition basically, and kind of keeping you focused.
Mhm.
So you're not surprised on this when you hear, and you're not surprised because you hear someone scream, "Periwinkle! Periwinkle!" And then you turn your head and you see this halfling running and spinning a sling. What have you done? And he's swinging it to let it go. So I need you to roll for an ish on this.
All right. I got a 9.
Hey, he's got a 9 too. Um, do you have any bonus
Yeah. Well,
for your
that's my
agility?
that, well, that's with my initiative bonus.
Okay. All right. Let me see if this little sucker has one. Oh, yes, a player's handbook. Good grief, man.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Uh,
All right. This is funny.
that's where you just need a DM screen, and then just gives you
Yeah.
everything.
I'm seeing the wisdom of that now.
Yeah. Or
All
just
right.
print up your own. There's plenty of resources online.
Yeah. Actually, they have those orange ones where you just slip in your own printed screens. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
those are pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah. We have to contend with a lot more bonuses and stuff for 5e than I think we do when we play something else like OSR type
Yeah.
games. So I'm not sure what the halflings bonus is.
Okay. Well, his dexterity is uh, increased by 2, so I'm gonna use that and say that he does get advantage of it. Plus, he has luck. All right,
Mm-hmm.
in speed, his stoutness, etc. So even though he's a little bit bleary eyed, so uh, I'm going to make him roll for at a disadvantage. If I can find my D20. There you go. Okay. He rolls a 9 and he rolled 11, so either case, he misses you. All right. He's so blurry eyed and crying when he lets go, that stone flies past you.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, I need you to roll a DC against a 10.
Mommy, wants your phone charger?
Oh, my AC. Oh, hi, bud. It's downstairs in the kitchen.
She asked for her charger.
Oh, okay. Well, mine's in the kitchen. But I'll give you this one.
Oh, this is a cool die. So it multiplies your roll.
I have never used it either.
Well,
So you wish.
Definitely multiplying your roll. It's just 2 dice, one clear and another one tiny inside of it.
All right. Well,
Oh
thank you
yeah,
for
I got one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice.
I don't like them. It's hard to read the other one sometimes.
You're getting older.
I've had it longer
You
than
got to get your reading glasses on to see
I've
it.
had it longer than I've had had my oldest kid there, and I still can't even read it. Even then.
All right, this I want you to roll against your Constitution right now. Against DC of no, sorry, just roll your DC of 10.
All right.
Using the Constitution bonus.
All right. With my bonus, it's a 9.
With your bonus, it's a 9. Well, this is what happens. You start to. This rock flies past you, and for some reason, you just can't hold it anymore. You can't hold it back, and like a floodgate, like Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins, you just and you start laughing all over the place, and you knee slapping and laughing. It's hurting. You can't. I mean, your eyes are closed. Tears are coming out of your eyes. It's hurting so bad you fall on your butt and you roll over to the side. You see this halfling when he missed you and he was already crying or whatever like that, he slides up to you and he's hugging the dog. And what have you done? What have you done? Why are you laughing? What are you cruel beast? He's just, you're hearing this in the background, but you're laughing so freaking hard that you can't right yourself. Now I need you to roll. Hold on. Roll a 2d10. You know that dice that you can't read, is that a d10?
No, it's D20s.
Okay.
2D10s. Yeah, I can
yeah.
get it. All right.
Just add those two together.
All right. That's be 17.
17. Okay. And write that down on a little note. That's it'll come into effect or play later. You get up to a certain point. You're laughing like this. I need you to roll again.
Okay.
The same roll you're making.
All right. 2d10. Oh,
no. Sorry.
Constitution.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try to get past the DC of 10.
Man, with the bonus, it's 5.
Jeez. Okay. You're still take those other 2 dice again and roll them.
7.
Okay. All right. Add that 7 to it.
All right.
And this may seem crazy, but I need you to roll one more time in the same progression, the D20, and try to get past 10.
8.
Okay. Now look, roll those 2 dice and add them again on top of it. Okay.
All right.
Let's go for a total, and I got to check something else here for you.
All right. Those 2 D10s is a 6.
Okay, just add the 6 on top of it. And what we're going to do is, you got a D100 2 D10s. You can roll me. Do your own fate.
Yeah, I had a percentile, basically. Yeah, somewhere. Oh, my fate. My fate. It will what it makes.
What a world! What a world!
World, what world we shall make with.
Yeah, you're gonna love this.
Oh, I think I'm probably just gonna have to roll 2d10 though.
Yes.
I'm gonna spend. Oh, here we go. There we go. There we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. There we go.
Drum roll, please.
Say 13.
13. Okay. All right. This is inside your mind you've made up at that moment. You've made up your mind, and your worldview is slightly shifted into the fact that you believe that the only way you're going to stay sane is to stay drunk. So being drunk keeps me sane, is what you think. You knew that before when you would drink, compared to this, that's the only thing that's going to get you sane and keep you sane. That's off the indefinite madness chart, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So just write that down on your character sheet, and that's his belief. Awesome belief.
That's
it. All right.
All right. Drunk equals sane.
Okay. You laugh, and from that knowledge that you just made up your mind, you feel like, oh, yeah, now that's great. And you kind of giggle to yourself. And you stand up, and this little halfling is quivering and blubbering. And holding on to his dog. You monster! You monster! And you're laughing, and you kind of just turn around and you feel the diamond in your hand and make sure it's safe in your pocket. And I'm only narrating this because it's compulsions on you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't control, and you feel like you need to head north, young man. So that's what you do. You travel, you hear the well, the annoying little sobbings and whatnot off behind you in the distance. And the wind's blowing and moving this thing, and you're getting close to that area where you look up and notice, as you have seen before, there's 3 vultures that are circling. And roll for perception, which would be wisdom. I mean, unless your character sheet has a certain proficiency with, or bonus.
No, I actually am proficient in perception. So we'll see what we get. 21.
What up? Nailed it.
Finally.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You hear through your own laughing what sounds like almost an echo of laughter. But in this basin and kind of flatlands where you are, it's very odd, but it seems to be coming from a certain direction. You stop, almost kind of stutter laugh to pick it out because it sounds like an echo of yours. And then you notice the grass out there kind of moving the top of it in a bunch little area, more so than just the wind swaying it. And you see little ears pop up, and you'll hear laughter and growls, and you recognize this. You've heard it before. You've seen this. There's these are what you would recognize as jackals. No, excuse me, hyenas. All right. So these hyenas have, obviously a little bit off the road, down some beast as far as you can reconcile, and they're tearing at it right now. So, do you want to? It's not that far off the road, probably 10 foot or so off the road. It's almost like they downed it right as it crossed the path. So how do you want to try this out?
How far were the hyenas?
Well, they're about 10 foot off the road, and they're probably about, from where you noticed it, probably about 30, 40 foot from you specifically.
I'm gonna grab my longbow.
Okay. I thought you had a javelin and a. Different character.
Yeah, that was the one that died on the side of the road, like where he found the diamond on the side of the road.
All right. All right. Will do. So you draw your long.
Try not to end up that way again.
You're drawing your longbow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna draw my longbow.
Okay. They seem to be tearing at it. Like I said, there's a wind swaying the grass, and they're going at it, and the vultures are up there. If you stay on the road, you'll be about 10 foot. You probably just look over there and see, right in the grass, which the grass is probably about, it's more like almost wheat. It's probably about waist high or so. But you'll see their heads pop up and dive back down, and you'll hear snatching and crackling of bones, from the distance you are off a little bit.
It caught my fancy, so I'm gonna take a shot at one of them.
Okay. They're mostly obscured by
the grass.
Yeah, but you could still fire into the clutch of them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. See
there seems to be 3 or 4 of them. You don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
why not?
Take
feeling,
you feeling a little salty.
I'm feeling a little mad. So let's just.
Okay. Try to contain your laughter a little bit while you do this, which is hard when you're doing the shot. So I want you to. You're just going to pop it out there, or you're going to try to aim?
I'm going to try to aim.
Well, first of all, look here. Roll and see your constitution. I mean, do that roll for your constitution again.
Okay.
Against the DC of 10.
You gotta stop doing that to me every time I'm gonna roll against my constitution because I.
You gotta get another die, though.
Dude, I switched die too.
Okay, look now. If this is
a 5,
time,
so
I know I do the same thing, man. I'm either rolling like high or low. There's no in between.
Oh man!
When you're doing this, you need to roll. When you're sitting up there, you're giggling and so hard, and you're like this, and you're trying to take aim to let one loose. But I need you to roll at a negative, a disadvantage, basically, if you're going to make the shot.
Yeah.
But you roll into a clutch, so it's not going to,
Yeah. So I need to roll 2d20 or.
Yeah.
All right. A 12.
A 12. Yeah. All right. Let me see. Oh yeah, I got to switch books now. What is it? The crap of the. Oh, it's back on the bed. All right. All right. You rolled what? A 12?
At
Okay, well,
disadvantage, I
actually,
roll
you
12.
hit the beast. One of them. Now, what's going to happen? You hit something. There is actually, I'm going to roll a die 4, all right? If I hit a 1, you're going to hit the down beast. 2 through 4 is going to be one of the hyenas.
All right.
I rolled a 1. Shouldn't have probably told you that, but you hit something, but you don't hear a hyena, yelp. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to roll the hyena. Second.
Mm-hmm.
I got a perception +3. Okay, now when you're walking, and I roll a 19, that's 22 for the clutch. I just used 1 for all 3 of them. Okay. Now, what is when this wind's blowing? You were upwind from them. So right now, through the grass and everything, this wind is blowing your scent right at them.
Mm-hmm.
They're still tearing away at this beast, but you hear them stop, and they go from laughing to more of a growl,
Mm-hmm.
and they're latched on to the beast, and it's like a series of 3 growls. You can't really see what's going on there, but you can tell they're all hunched down, similarly to the way the mastiff was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they're still beating it. So, like I said, you're about 35 foot away or so.
Okay. So I'm actually gonna just keep on moving from north because after realizing that I can't shoot that well as I'd like, and it just
Okay.
the control is out of hand.
Okay. You head north, and I'm going to roll to see the reaction. Okay. Now, if you're on this road, whenever you get up there, you see into this clearing that the reeds have been pushed down, and this big animal that looks like an elk or so, more or less is crumpled up, and you hear it bleeding,
Mm-hmm.
and it tries to raise its head up, and it'll flop it back over, and they're
Mm-hmm.
still latched on. You see an arrow sticking out the side of this elk, and right in between these 3 hyenas that are still latched onto it, but they're hunched down and their eyes are dead on you. It's like they don't right now. It's lucky this thing is alive, otherwise they break off and filter out and try to, get you. But it's a warning glare that they're giving to you. So, what are you doing right now? Are you trying to pass them still?
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep on passing if they're just giving a warning.
Okay. They do that, and then you get a little further away, and then you can hear the bleeding is drowned out by the howls and laughing of the hyenas, and you echo that as laughter kind of escapes your lips and mutters out of it, which you were doing the whole time when you was passing them almost.
Yeah.
You were trying to hold your cool, and the relief goes over you and passes, and you head north, still along the trail. All right.
All right.
There is. Crap, you have no luck at all. There is a when you're approaching, roll your perception for me on this.
All right.
You seem to be getting into a little bit more of a, a hilly lay
Mm-hmm.
in the ground
Yeah.
area, and these grasslands and wheat has kind of gone by and thinned out, and it's starting to get hilly right there. All right. Did you make your perception?
Yeah. It'd be 12 with the
Okay.
bonus.
Okay. Well, that'll work. What you see over in the side, one of these hills, it looks more like right in between a crevice of a hill,
Mm-hmm.
where it meets another one. There's a dome. It's almost like a cocoonish dome, and it's weathered and matted up, and like caked with dirt and clay and whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see right in the hole of it, and it's still night, but you can see the two spherical, what appears to be eyes, kind of glowing and reflecting. A little bit of light is cast down.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's over there, which is probably about 15 foot away from you. It's almost like you stumble on it without even noticing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's a little bit off what would be perceived as a road, just kind of like an alcove. As you're walking and getting closer, you see two kind of giant appendages, arachnid appendages come out, and the two pincers, and it crawls out, and you can see it scamper out halfway from the first abdomen, and you can tell it's a giant spider. It's hairy somewhat, and it sees you and backs into its little hole, and you hear it scamper around. You notice some trees on the other side of these hills starting to be populated by hardwoods, and not so dense of a forest, but just trees here and there. And you do notice that in the trees there's some webbing hanging down in little tendrils, like beard or moss, somewhat. The kind of old decrepit webbing that's kind of lacing the undersides of the trees.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably about 4 or 5 of them around in that area that's around it, and it's mainly to your left, but there's like 2 to your right too. You'll have to go in between them if you stay on the road. Which you are, I assume, going north still, or
yeah, we'll keep on going north.
okay.
Hopefully I don't get caught up in those things.
Okay. The breeze is still going, and you roll to see if you're laughing, from seeing this creature. To see if you roll against your Constitution on a D10.
All right. Yeah, well, that's the bonus is 20.
Oh, okay. All right. You managed to clamp down on these spurts of laughter and stay very quiet. And as you go through this area, you can notice that those same eyes, and you look up into and around the base of the tree. It's almost like cocoon-like areas that's attached to the tree trunk, as well as some of them even inside the branches of the trees. But just eyes are seeing you, but
By the
they're
way,
going to be moving.
Oh,
I was role playing. You know.
oh, okay. Hey, you want to get my charger from the kitchen, please? So my phone don't die. And...
Can I get some Mountain Dew?
Yes. Yes, Demar, come to bargain.
All right.
All right.
Now, whenever you get through here,
Mm-hmm.
and you feel you're getting closer, you're at the foot of the foothills. Now you have been it's fairly late, and you've been pushing yourself. It's around what we would consider midnight
Mm-hmm.
to the night phase, and if you're going to push on right now, you need to roll for Constitution in keeping yourself going. If you want to do that.
Yeah.
Now you can listen. You can do. I would say roll an advantage because you feel so driven. But if you do that, I mean, you'll incur exhaustion. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I
basically,
mean,
it's flip flop. If
yeah.
you succeed, you carry on, but you'll be rolling at a disadvantage.
Yeah. I mean, as far as the area, I mean, like, all right,
You're a
is
little
it?
bit past them, and it is more like rolling plains, and you're the foothills of hills. You know.
Um. Uh, as much as I'd like to continue on, I a proper rest should, at least a short one.
See, that's what I'm saying. You roll, and if you
Yeah.
fail, then you can do that. But otherwise, you roll, and if you succeed, you're pushed on further because you
Yeah.
feel so the drawing of it so close.
Yeah.
Yeah, just roll on a D10, and this will be as a DC of 10.
All right. All right. That's for Constitution. I got 19.
Okay. Well, you push on. Um, you push on. You're tired. You're weighed down, and
Oh
let me
no.
see what happens here.
Alright. I gotta get plugged in. If not, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, go ahead. I gotta look up what exactly is happening here.
Maybe. If it would let me. There we go. Hey.
Okay. Now, what is happening now is nightfall,
Mm-hmm.
and no, not nightfall. I mean, it's late at night. It's probably about 1 or what we consider 1:30, and you hear along the wind still blowing. You hear a rushing, almost like a flapping, and there's still hardwoods that dot this area. Um, these hills. It's not totally vacant and just hills.
Mm-hmm.
But roll your perception on this. You do hear something. You just got to figure out what's going on.
Alright. Perception. Let's see, 12 plus 3 is 15.
15. Okay. Um, All right, what you see when you glance up, it's almost like an ambient sort of full moon night, even though there's no moon, what we would call a moon out.
Mm-hmm.
But it has that kind of luminescence where everything's lit up. And you will see and hear, um, more so here, you'll hear a hoot that turns into a screech.
Mm-hmm.
And you almost see like a phantom silhouette of a giant bird's wings. And it seems to be, it's almost like it's coming down and encasing you or going to envelop you. So you can almost feel it the same way you can hear it rushing down towards you, to your left. And roll for initiative on this.
All right. 9.
Okay. You will be you'll be glad to know it rolled a 1. All right. So I'm going to let you attack with advantage.
Okay.
For some reason, this thing that's coming around on you doesn't get the drop on you at all, and is hitting you at an angle that's to your advantage and his disadvantage. You're on an area of the hill where it just helps you with your what weapon are you using?
A great sword.
Okay, all right. It helps you more than anything with your attack vantage point with your great sword. So go ahead.
All right. So I'm rolling with advantage.
Yeah.
All right. Attack bonus for 18, 22.
22. All right.
All right.
I need you to roll. You're lucky, man. This is a rough roll up. Roll your damage and add any kind of proficiency bonus, whatever or attribute bonus too, like strength, basically.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, strength. Yeah, I get a 2d6 plus 2 slashing just on the greatsword. So you want strength bonus too?
Yeah, add that.
All right. 5, 7, 9.
9. All right. When you hit this thing, it's like it missed you with its claws. As crazy as that sound, because it's where it's coming out, it got a little too close, and you struck it right in between his legs in his soft underbelly, and it lifts up, and you can hear the wings beating. And as it backs up, it pulls your sword, almost pulls your sword out of his hand, but you hear a sickening as this thing pulls out, and you regain your sword. Now I'm gonna roll for, love doing this, morale, and all right. You would not believe it, man. I rolled a 1. Seriously, that's 2 rolls, 2 ones in a row. This thing, quite surprised that you bit like it did. And obviously hit it in an area, and when it was pulling off of you, it starts beating its wings to fly off, and you've obviously hit it in a very tender area. And it falls backwards and starts flapping, and you see these feathers as this thing starts rolling down the hill. And if you're watching it, I don't know what you want to do. You want to pursue it or let it roll, or what? It's not necessarily a decline, but you can see it, floom, 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 and it's screeching as it's going down.
Yeah, I'm gonna pursue it. Just
Okay. As it's rolling down, you gonna pursue it with a bow and arrow or
no,
sword or what?
I'm just gonna stay with the sword.
Okay. If you're running behind it, I want you to roll with advantage again.
All right.
And add your pluses.
All right. No, am I rolling for attack or?
Yeah, no, I mean roll to hit
Okay.
with advantage.
With the bonus, you're looking attack bonus is 20.
Dang. Okay, now roll your armor. I mean your
Damage.
to hit.
Uh, 8.
8. Gee whiz. Did you at your strength bonus? Did you have one?
Yeah, that's with
Okay.
that's with everything.
Okay. Now this thing when you hit it again, and it's spinning down the hill, it screeches again, and you caught it. You caught it across the back, and it slices in. What appears to be the back is more like a rolling ball of feathers, and it is still rolling, but it's doing it at an awkward angle, and kind of like it's just not rolling over, but it's taking a tack and it's rolling like from end over end, just from side. So you'll have this big wing come up and then it'll flat back down. It's still going and it's screeching and howling like crazy. The base of the hill is almost there, so it's about to slide up at about 5 foot. It's about to stop right there. So you continuing on?
Yes. Continue on.
Okay. Now you run, and I'm treating this like like it's retreating, even though it's not doing it purposely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, with morale, it did. But anyway, roll to hit.
Tear it apart. One way or another, probably eat it. Oh, well, that sucked. It's a 9.
A 9.
Yeah.
All right. Well, honestly, I guess when you ran up on it, you didn't expect that it could stop. So stop like it did, and it kind of slid to a stop and slid up a little bit, and then came right back on you and messed up your perception of where your strike would be. That's what we'll say. So on that, and it screeches. Right now, we need to re-roll our initiative.
All right.
You see his beak and everything come up, and all right, good.
13.
Okay, I got a 18. All right.
All right.
So when this thing pops up and it screeches and it rights itself, it's going to take. It's obviously discombobulated, so it's taking a second to turn around and look at you, and it's going in clumsily at you right now. I don't want to make it way to move because y'all right on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to do kind of a blind strike at you. I'm going to roll it for disadvantage on this strike. All right. Okay, that was 11 plus 1. I guess we had the plus 1 for so 12. What's your AC?
14.
Okay. Well, it dives at you with its beak, and just misses. Now this is a pretty big animal. In other words, his gaze is a large beast.
Mm-hmm.
So his head kind of buffets you a little bit and then hits the ground with a shriek, pulls back. But you can see splotches of blood tarred up in his feathers, his wings, as it's trying to kick out. So it's your turn.
All right.
You
Well,
just roll a regular die right now. Or one die, rather.
Yeah. If they stop falling all over the house, that'd be great. I'm not chasing it. I got another one.
Oh, there.
All right. With bonus, we're looking at a 20.
Dang, Bo. Now roll your damage.
All right. 9.
9. Okay. Describe how you kill this giant owl.
Basically, I just take my great sword and just one swing towards the neck of the beast, trying to sever.
Neck piece. Okay. They got a pretty big neck, and when you do, I'll add, because owls turn their head.
Yeah.
It turns his head, almost helping you cleave into it, and the sword, I don't think, because the neck's so thick, it would take a time motion. But I know you got it in there at least halfway. But his head's already spun so much that it's almost, it's
sever that artery a hell of a lot more.
It's severing, and it kind of just keeps rotating around on your sword, so it's in effect doing the sawing motion itself as you go through, and it'll spin as your sword slices through, and it rotates off and falls on the ground upside down, and then the body just goes rigid, and wings go out and drop and falls. That was pretty rough. Selling it, especially with them 2 ones it got. Now you're at the base. You're a little bit off the road from where you had to chase this thing, too. So you have to get back up there where you were to continue on.
Yes.
You are laughing hysterically as you go up the road, and your laughter can be heard echoing across the hills. When you get to the crest of it, now if you head north, you feel ever closer to this goal that you're about to reach, and you're constantly taking your little diamond and doing like that, checking it in your pocket, and you hear almost an echo resound in your mind. Yes, closer. It is late right now, and you've exhausted yourself even more so. So try to roll right now, even though this voice is edging you on. Try to roll against your constitution.
All right. Ooh, a 4.
So you failed it. Right now, no matter what this voice is saying and how you're caressing your little diamond, you laugh and you stumble down to your knees and kind of just roll back and look at the remnants of the sky, or what appears to be a sky. And anyway, you pretty much pass out right there. I'm going to roll and see. You wake up, something tickling your nose, and brush it aside, and it lifts off of it. It's a little butterfly that dances around her. It's a lot of, as I like to call them, flutterbys. And then they'll go, and then there's several of them that kick up and then take off. It seems a bright day from what, from the source of light that's in the center of this area that casts down on your land. And it's beautiful. Cloudless as it always is. Okay. So right now we'll do a bio break, and we rejoin before we hit the climax. All right.
Be back. Ooh.
And we are back. All right. And as promised, you're waking up in this area, and at night you couldn't really see all that well.
Mm-hmm.
In the daytime, it's a beautiful day out. You've whisked away these flutterbys, and you start hearing almost whispering, a lilty voice, um, giggling somewhat all around you. And you'll see, like over a rise of a hill near you, little heads kind of pop up and peer at you. And they're like, you hear them whispering audibly to themselves. It's almost like downwind where it's carrying their voices down to you. And they seem to be not alert or wary of that, or even concerned. Who is he? Where do you think he came from? Should we approach him? I think so. Look at him. He looks like an adventurer. And all this, you hear a lot of scuttling talk and excitability talk. And you see some heads rise up, and there's like this tribe of these 3-foot tall brownish creatures. Their heads, their hair is stuck everywhere. There seems to be one that and you're laying down, you're just waking up, rubbing the sleep out of your eyes, and you kind of just prop yourself up and looking around. And you see that whole host or tribe of these little creatures standing there, hair all bedheady and disarrayed. And there's one of them. Settle down now. We'll see who he is. And he steps out, and you can tell he's stepping forward, and the rest of them are encroaching a little bit behind him and kind of circling around you. And he's got this very well trimmed beard and this monocle is stuck on his eye. And he's saying, who are you to come to our lands? What are you searching for? He takes almost a glance back when he gets a good close look at you, and laughter's kind of spilling and sputtering out of your lips a little bit. And you're not sure if it's because you're seeing such a weird array of characters, or you're always kind of wondering why you laugh like that, but it's uncontrollable, and you start sweating a little bit, and you groan uncontrollably. And he takes a step back and he goes, I think you need to see our shaman. I think he may fix what ails you. And then he turns around and like brushes them away. Get away now, get away. And they all kind of laugh and skitter back over the edge. And he comes around and he beckons you. Come forward. Don't be scared. And you spill out a little bit of laughter out of your lips. What are you doing? You still have that compulsion in you. And the diamond says, yes, follow. We've made it. We are here.
I continue on to the urge, the pull.
Okay. Now, you stand up and follow him. And he beckons. He's very non-threatening. He starts chatting away and pointing out. It's funny because when he points out little areas, talking about their village, it's like you couldn't see them before. Like even when you're walking through, you just see the little hilly lands. But he says, and over here we have that. And all of a sudden you look over there, and there it is. But if you turn your head away when he looks there, and you look back at where he just pointed, there's nothing there. But when he points it out to you, you can see it. And he's going on about it. There's so and so and so. And he goes, finally, we've arrived. And you see this little, it's almost like a hobbit hole. All right. Mm-hmm. And in the ground, this little opening. He says, come inside. And he knocks on the door. He says, Master Flirtworth. And you hear some grumbling and somebody coming up a long chain of stairs. And the door swings open. What is it? You know I have work to do. And he's got this other monocle on and a headband. It looks like he's got an apron on and some little fine powdery dust over the apron. And he's got a couple of tools. I can't be bothered. And then he stops when he notices you. And you still have this, his eyes glance down at your hand. And you seem to have this diamond in your hand. And he notices that. And he's, come inside. Come inside now. Just bring him in. Watch your head. Watch your head. And he's beckoning you to come down. You just have to stoop down a little bit. These creatures are like 3.5 foot tall. Mm-hmm. And it kind of goes down into the hill, but it's well lit. Little sconces and little what appears to be lanterns, mm-hmm. On the side as you go down, and a little wooden thing. It's very well kept. It's not a wet, dirty hole. It's a dry, sandy hole. Anyway, you're going down, and he said, here's my workshop. Here's my workshop. Look, have a seat. Have a seat there. May I see it? And he gestures toward your hand. Now you hear an echo in your voice say, yes, yes, give it to him. Give it to him. You will be all right. It will make you better. Now, something in you, like you got a double mind to hand this thing over. Do you want to resist it or?
Yeah, I want to have a little sense of hesitation.
Okay. Roll to see if your wisdom, and this is going to be a roll where you're opposed. All right?
Okay. Wow.
What'd you
get? 19.
Oh, yeah. You are opposing this. So you only get a 9, okay? He going, no, please, no, don't. And you hear this echo, no, it will be all right. It will be all right. And he backs up when you have this hesitation and you pull back and he's like, no, I'm not here to hurt you. I just want to repair it. I'll give it back. You see the crack, right? Look. And he's trying to point toward the diamond. It's flawed. You'll be all right. You'll get it back. You'll get it back and a lot more, I can assure you. You've done us a great favor in bringing it here. Please, we have no guards. We're not trying to force you, but it's the right thing to do.
Why do you need it so much?
You come all this way.
But it's so precious.
Yes, it is precious. I agree. But if you want to do the right thing and be released from this burden you carry, please hand it over. You will get it back, but I have to do something to release you of this. And you have done us a great favor. You will see.
I hand it over.
Okay.
With a little hesitation still.
Get it. And he looks at you and he grabs it with some hesitation. He cups it in his hand. He goes, thank you. You have done the right thing. And now you see in here, I want to mention this. He's got various gems across his work counter station. And he pulls down his monocle and he's looking at it and he's eyeing it. See, yes, there's the crack right there. And then he looks at it. He goes, "We'll have you back. It's been a long time. It's been a long time, master. And he walks over to the to his table, and he sets it down on the side of like a small anvil, and he takes a hammer up and he smashes it right there. And then he jumps up and he's starting to dance. And he's, "It is done! It is done!" Now, at this time, you hear in your mind, I don't know how you want to react, but you're in your mind, "Yes, yes, yes," and it's drawn away from you. And he starts to run past you. And he's going, "Come, you must see. You must see. Upstairs. Do you not feel better?" And he's running up the stairs. So, you going to follow him, or are you going to
Yes.
totally no compulsion right now? All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow him.
Okay. He swings that door open, and you can see all these little beings gathering around, kind of circling. And where there's nothing else, he says, look yonder. And he's pointing. And there seems to be this rather ornate, what we would, you and I would maybe refer to a hobbit hole, but it's very ornate that comes into your field of vision. And the door, it has a double door, it swings open. And this robed figure comes out, and he's got half of a like a headpiece that flops over to the side and hangs down with a little bell. And he's robed up, is red. He's pulling a little train behind it.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, yes, I have returned. I have returned, my children. And then they all start gathering around him. He's the same as them. And they're doing like a huddle around him and everything. You're seeing all this. And then he goes, "And I must thank thee." And then he turns around and looks. "You, yes, my friend. You've brought me all this way." And he comes up to you and he says, "You shall have your reward." And he looks back. He goes, "Fertworth." And he's, "Yes, Master Periwinkle." He says, Give him something for this deed. Give him some riches." "Yes." He goes, "Right away, Master Periwinkle." And he scampers off and goes down the corridor. And he comes back up and he has this bushel that he's carrying in his apron. He runs up to you. He goes, grab this quickly. And when he unfolds it to where you can see it, there's like 7 different gemstones that are inside. He says, take them, they're yours." And everybody just, hooray, around you like that. So what are you doing?
I'll accept his offering.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you take them, and you don't feel anything whatsoever wrong with them. I mean, as far as any kind of thing. And it seems like your sweats have broken. For some reason, you don't find it humorous at all, but you do feel like laughing from the situation. So
the fog is lifted.
yeah, and it's a bright, sunny day, and everybody's rejoicing. They invite you. That you start hearing minstrels kick up and people's dancing, and then you turn around and you notice that in your field of vision, these little domed houses that you only saw when you were pointed out before are now more apparent, and you see tables being laid out, and there's a feast being thrown for you right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's an owl on a spit that they're turning, and there, it's a roast being had. So literally, you sit right beside their king as the honored guest, and then they're dishing you everything they got. So that is where we will wrap up the story. And what has happened here is, aside from that, during all the commotions, the epilogue, you learn, because they're very chatty creatures. It's been so long since the king and had gone, and he was a very knowledgeable mage
Mhm.
as well, and he dipped into it, and he had created a magic uh, jar with that gem, but it was flawed.
Yeah.
So whenever he was taken out, he left, and his body was still there. And he was stolen and went abroad, and it's been 50 years or more. And he's been trying to, he couldn't never fully take over anybody. And the gem was flawed and cracked, which caused him to be cracked. So he could only halfway embody somebody and urge them to bring him back to his land. And it took several people before he finally found you that completed his quest. So that's it. And everyone, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you next time.